Okay. Yeah, so good morning, everybody. My name is Pirjo Sanaksenaho. I'm professor of building design at the Department of Architecture and as well at the moment the head of the department. So I'm going to tell you about how we educate architects to design school buildings. So I show you some outcomes of the students' projects. How do I? So Aalto University is in Espoo, close to Helsinki, and it's as well designed by Alvar Aalto, the main old campus of Helsinki University of Technology. And Aalto University was founded in 2010 by merging three old universities, Helsinki University of Technology, where we used to be as a School of Architecture, then University of Industrial Arts, and Helsinki Business School. So we have like technology, art design, and business all in the same university. And our department has now joined the School of Art, Design and Architecture. So basic architecture education started in Finland in 1872, and then landscape architecture that program was founded about 35 years ago, and interior architecture used to be in School of Art and Design, TAIC, but then it's nowadays part of our department as well. So we have all the scales of built environments, from like a furniture and door handles to buildings and city spaces and landscapes. And we are nowadays both in this new building of arts school and old building and reached the 39th position in QS ranking of the architecture schools. So about learning environments education. So I teach this public building design studio each fall, and it's meant for master students of architecture of 4th or 5th year of their education. And we have had different kind of assignments, but during my professorship since 2013, we have had 3 times like a school as a design assignment. And the first was Viherlaakso Modular School to Espoo. That was for temporary use of a school which was under renovation. So these are all like imaginary projects, but the real room program and in collaboration with the city or some companies, so that they get some feasibility studies and new ideas for their use for the future projects, and then we get like a real design problem to solve. And we are very much based on individual tutoring and group work. So we have each week meeting at the campus, and then the students do quite much as well independent work. And then we have conceptual reviews, mid-reviews, final reviews. I think it's quite same in different architecture schools around the world, how architecture is taught. So it's much based on like individual tutoring and discussion. So in our case, I think the research method is designing. So we through this design study different kind of solutions for educational environments. And now I show from these 3 studios some best examples we had. Antti Soini, this was like a modular school to be designed so that it can be transferred to another place, and Antti did this kind of like a solution that he had these kind of containers on top of each other, and in between those containers there was an open high space. And this was the plan of that idea, that all the education spaces were either on these open spaces or in these containers, and then it was easy to remove and transfer to another place. And this was another project of the same assignment of the like modular school building, which could be transferred to another place. Nico Sedelöf did kind of like a tent of steel steel roof and walls, and in that tent there was then the rectangular containers with education spaces. So this is quite typical in Finland, that schools need to stay in these kind of temporary modular school buildings during some indoor air renovations, or when the schools are not in use. And then still one example of these modular schools by Hannele Cederström. So she designed that kind of simple square plan with a couple of inner courtyards. And then in this open plan, there were some closed spaces, and she tried to do the design so that anyway the learning spaces would have a natural light, either from outer wall or through these little courtyards. So then after some years, we had a project to Puotila. This we did together with Sari Lehtonen, was like collaborating from Helsinki City Educational Office, and there was as well a real need of a new school in Puotila housing district in eastern Helsinki, where used to be a school from 1960s, but it was going to be demolished because of indoor air quality problems. And then our students got to design a new school based on the room program given by Helsinki City. And in this school, there were as well is it early childhood education, this esikoulu in English? So yeah, preschool, and also spaces for city sport activities, etc. And this was Benjamin Åkerblom's design. He designed based on a modular grid. This is the ground floor where all the public spaces and those spaces which are used also other citizens, and then the preschool was there in that corner on the left in order to be a bit more calm and silent places, and also the yard design was according this modular grid. Or then another example of this assignment, Tommi Junnola, who as well did his design based on this kind of little outdoor areas between those school modules, and like a collecting high space there in the middle of the house. And one example of how careful they study also like the furnishing and environment of one cell of the school environment. So they use like a 1 semester for this project. So only from like September to December to do this draft design or like a preliminary designs for a school building. And the last fall we had the collaboration already in this TFK program, which Tina mentioned, that we had as well the lecture series, which was recorded and is available in YouTube channel. So first they get like a theoretical background of the learning environment design, and in this case was as well a real site in Turku city with an old school building from 1960s, and this was quite special school because there was as well these kind of children with special needs, that some of the children moved with wheelchairs or even in beds, so there needs to be a quite wide corridors and elevators for those, and as well student welfare services and city sports services were in this school. So this is the aerial photo of the old school, which will be demolished. And then here are a couple of projects of that studio. So Matthias Murole, somehow this is reminding of the old school with the atrium courtyard. So that through that courtyard the students come in, and then the sports hall is there besides that, but this was quite nicely like put to the landscape. And an interior image. Okay, my time is up, but my show is as well ending soon. And then another example by Antti Rissanen, whose basic design was that there is that kind of a central corridor spine, and the learning spaces are along that central corridor, and quite like a familiar maybe school architecture of the time. Very fine site with old pines and beautiful landscape there. And just to close, we have as well done in our building design studio these kind of projects, which then has been realized. All those previous ones were imaginary, but we had one year, 2019, a project with wood architecture students, and the task was to design a temporary conference pavilion for Finlandia Hall during its renovation, and it's now built in Töölö Bay area in Helsinki, and that will be then, after renovation is completed, that will be transferred to a school in another location in Helsinki. So that's how we tend to educate, that you have to learn. So like adjustable spaces, that they can be used in other purposes in the future as well. That's like the sustainable way to design new architecture. Okay, thank you very much.